Hey there, this is going to be a reading for Pisces for the month of January 2026. I hope that there's something in here that's helpful for you. Cards are pretty hesitant on this one. I don't think these are for you. I'm going to go ahead and clarify your advice now, because I think it might be important for the scope of your reading, even as we're getting going. Interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to be a time for you of, it might feel like a bit of being in battle with yourself, with the world around you, your loved ones, all in what I feel here is your sincere desire to feel love, to express love, to feel connected, but maybe a lot of difficulties feeling those things. It feels like conflict could just have made you feel kind of small and stuck. Conflict with yourself, conflict not knowing your place in the world. Like, I feel like the scope of this is probably pretty big. So at the heart of your reading for the month is the Five of Wands. It seems like, and this card has come up a couple times in the recent readings that I've done. I think this feels to me like a lot of turmoil in the world. This feels like particularly your place in the world. I think all of your reading is going to kind of come back to this as the center point. And yeah, it doesn't feel like play in this context for you right now. It feels like there could be a lot of heavy things going on, particularly in your mind. Maybe wanting your mind to be different, to be thinking different thoughts, to have a different outlook on the world. But it seems that what you're feeling right now in a very conscious way is feeling stuck, of the world feeling quite gray, quite gloomy, and with no easy place to turn, no soft, kind place that you can see. And I think that the soul is, or even if we don't use those words, in a very deep way, you're looking for answers. The Page of Swords is here in your subconscious realm. This is looking for answers. It's there is curiosity here, but in the context of this reading, I think that this can really feel like a desperate search for a way to clear your head, a way to make sense of things, a way to feel good in your body, to feel empowered, to feel like you can move on steady ground again. I think that's a sincere desire that I feel in the energy of this reading. And you have the Lovers in your challenge for the month. This feels to me like love may feel elusive to you. Maybe the people who you just are typically the closest to you feel far away, feel hard to reach. Maybe it feels they don't understand you. Maybe it feels like you don't understand yourself. There could be a situation in where you're trying to express and trying to share with people, trying to gain understanding, but even you hear the words out of your mouth and know that they don't come from a grounded place, which you see reflected back to you from the people who love you. It could be, not for everyone, but I think nonetheless the challenge here is feeling that loving connection, that warmth again. You know, all of these feelings seem to be coming up and felt very deeply by you, but I think it's a lot of it has to do with your relationship to the world around you, to people. I think I've stated that pretty thoroughly, but let's see why the Lovers is here. Let's see if we can get some clarifying information on the Lovers in your challenge. Why might the Lovers be here? It could be a time where just vulnerability feels so scary, and vulnerability may feel like death right now. Yeah. Seven of Wands as a clarifier, a real defensiveness, a feeling like even the people that you feel would normally be able to receive your heartfelt expression or your heartfelt opinion, your sincere thoughts. Maybe it just feels like you're fighting the world right now. Is there another piece? Another piece for Pisces? Yeah, it's a few more clarifiers came out, including the Five of Swords, the World, and the King of Swords. This is feeling like there's a deceptive energy in the mix of everything that would typically be love, that you feel should be love. And the World here, I don't think is necessarily speaking to the end of a chapter, but rather maybe you and the Pisces collective in particular, with the intuitive abilities that you have, you know, not to generalize too much, but if any group of people is really feeling the public consciousness, the world consciousness, I mean, it could likely be you. And this is not, it's like I feel the tender heart here, and when the kind of the beatings seem to be coming from every direction, eventually you're going to get worn down too, and your loving, compassionate, and open-minded spirit could turn into something quite rigid and defensive. And other people who are close to you could be in this exact same boat, making communication just really freaking difficult. I really feel this reading, and I've highlighted the challenges because I think this is a moment of great challenge, but it's not hopeless, and there will be movement. So allow us to move on to the advice portion of your reading now. So So in your advice, you have the Eight of Wands. My feeling is that if there's a certain amount of surrender that you can do, that's going to really allow energy to move much more quickly. So I think what you're feeling is being rather stuck, rather trapped in your mind particularly. So I think anything that you can do to recognize that your thoughts are thoughts and that you are not those thoughts. You don't even own them. They're not personal to you. They may feel like, well, there's those thoughts again, but they're not you. You're not characterized by them. They arise and they fall away in you. They may follow patterns, but they are not you. So as much as you can recognize that fact and release maybe a bit of the desire to understand, because this may be a time where just trying to understand is going to wrap your mind in circles. If you can release the story that these thoughts are convincing, if you can recognize that they are not convincing thoughts, that they're not healthy, that they're not empowering you, that will leave room for something else to arise quicker that you can't understand, that you can't foresee. And I think it's really going to change the spirit of your interactions with other people as well. And simply acknowledging that this is the place that you're in may be the key to unlocking the next steps. Because as part of being in this trapped energy, part of the trap is not being able to accept that this is where you are. But the moment that you accept it, the binds will loosen. The ties that hold you will loosen. It may take some time, but the situation will feel loose again. And I think the advice here is that it will happen quite quickly. And it will happen quickly when you turn to the people around you for help and admit to yourself that there are entities, there are people, there are resources that want to help you. This strength can come from your own spiritual nature, your own connection with the higher power, the power that moves things, that organizes, that doesn't require you to do that moving or that organizing. And know that power is here to assist you in your low times. And the people who you need to be involved with, and this may be involved in your own spiritual healing. This may be involved with the action you need to take in your community to keep people safe, to feel like you're upholding your responsibilities as a citizen. Feel intuitively what this cooperative effort with other people could look like in your life. Where might you feel stuck, that you want to admit that you don't know what to do, and who might you ask for help? Who might you identify as people who have been in your situation, who would give you really good advice, or who would at least give you advice on how to move something that feels, again, very stuck. I think you get this image by now. But I think the emphasis is that if you open up to people, open your heart, that energy will begin to move very quickly, and you will feel empowered. You will feel empowered to rest more easily in yourself again, because you won't be fighting your parts. You'll recognize that what the mind is doing is part of the lower nature in this instance, that it's trying to, in this desperate state of maybe even fight or flight for you, but at very least this desperate state of trying to figure out something else, something to do to help you survive, to help you feel healthy and whole again. it's taking on a lower nature in order to take control. If you can recognize that that's happening and release it, that will go a very long way, I think. Let's see if we can get one more piece of closing advice from the tarot. Is there one more piece of encouragement, advice, or piece of awareness to give to Pisces? Yeah, I think there may be even some kind of work that you've been avoiding doing and trying to rationalize or just not look at that work. And that avoidance could be eating you up. As your final piece of advice, there is some way of thinking, some thought pattern, something that you've been ruminating on that is ready to go. That it has not been helping you for some time, and it's ready to be released. This is a permission slip to release it. You see that nothing more is going to come from entertaining this idea, or this way of thinking, this way of life. Even if this thinking has crept into your life, and you find yourself taking actions that you wouldn't normally take, or doing unhealthy things that you know are toxic, or repeating addictive patterns, that can be an indicator that some idea is overstaying its welcome in your consciousness, and you can let it go, because there's some sort of work to be doing for you. There's a place that your heart is calling you towards, something that you're naturally curious about, your passion is naturally present, and it's ready for your attention. Let this symbolize the fact that all the ways that, and you needed to do this, you needed to do all of this to avoid it up to this moment, for whatever the reasons are. You don't even have to know what the reasons are, but you had to do it. But now that you know that it's taking you nowhere, you can get into your work. You can start your project. You can begin taking care of your body. Slow and steady, compassionate, and easy on yourself. Knowing that you are just coming out of a period of feeling quite low. But you're transforming yourself, you're transforming your life with this little step towards taking care of every other part of you that's not just your mind. And just to remind you, other people are here to help you too. You're not in it alone. All of this feeling of loneliness, all of this, the feeling of even feeling betrayed in the past by other people who, maybe you had given your love to, maybe they weren't worthy, or maybe they just found themselves in a hard time too, and they were acting uncharacteristic, something that's not in their usual nature because something has hurt them. But you don't have to continue carrying that energy. If you can extend some compassion to the fact that they were doing the best they could too, but that you don't need their permission to move on, that may help you go far. There's a lot of love here for you. I think forgiving yourself and releasing shame, releasing the fact that you needed to stay stuck for a while, letting that be okay, that will help you make your first steps toward a healthier being, a healthier existence, a healthier experience, one that you like more. So with those things being said, I'd like to draw a couple oracle cards for you. and see what messages that might lead or give to you. My words are very jumbled right now, but I hope that you're catching something that's helpful, and I hope you catch my drift. I really appreciate doing this reading for you. I get some oracle cards for Pisces. And honestly, doing this reading is a way for me to practice giving my gift to the world and not avoiding what my heart's calling me to. I just want to share that as well. I've had a very difficult time actually doing the things that I know that I want to do. And I find myself doing a lot of that avoidant behavior, a lot of that avoidant thinking that's been here. So I feel you. I feel this a lot. Let's bring it back to Pisces. For Pisces. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see if we can't get one more. Oh goodness. Got two more. That's great. Yes. Alrighty. So I'm going to give all of them to you at a glance, and then I'm going to read a little bit from the book for you because I think it could be helpful in this situation. The oracle for you to keep in mind for the next few weeks at least are politics, healing, existence, and no thingness. Take a little glance there. And I would just offer that the stage that you're in now is probably more the politics, probably more of the snaky kind of deceptive energies, the things that are sabotaging, and then moving into the healing and the expansiveness. So let's go through the book. This might take the reading a little bit long, but I think it will be worth it. Alrighty. Here's politics. Do you recognize this man? All but the most innocent and sincere of us have a politician lurking somewhere in our minds. In fact, the mind is political. Its very nature is to plan and scheme and try to manipulate situations and people so that it can get what it wants. Here, the mind is represented by the snake, covered with clouds and speaking with a forked tongue. But the important thing to realize about this card is that both faces are false. The sweet, the innocent, trust me face is a mask, and the evil, toxic, I'll have my way with you face is a mask too. Politicians don't have real faces. The whole game is a lie. Take a good look at yourself to see if you've been playing this game. What you see might be painful, but not as painful as continuing to play. It doesn't serve anybody's interest in the end, least of all yours. Whatever you might achieve in this way will just turn to dust in your hands. Let's take a look at healing next. Healing. It's a time when the deeply buried wounds of the past are coming to the surface, ready and available to be healed. The figure in this card is naked, vulnerable, open to the loving touch of existence. The aura around his body is full of light, and the quality of relaxation, caring, and love that surrounds him is dissolving his struggle and suffering. Lotuses of light appear on his physical body and around the subtle energy bodies that healers say surround each of us. In each of these subtle layers appears a healing crystal or pattern. When we are under the healing influence of the King of Water, we are no longer hiding from ourselves or others. In this attitude of openness and acceptance, we can be healed and help others also to be healthy and whole. Man. We're going to do existence and then no thingness. This naked figure sits on the lotus leaf of perfection, gazing at the beauty of the night sky. She knows that home is not a physical place in the outside world, but an inner quality of relaxation and acceptance. The stars, the rocks, the trees, the flowers, fish, and the birds, all are our brothers and sisters in this dance of life. We're human beings, and we tend to forget this, as we pursue our own private agendas and believe we must fight to get what we need. But ultimately, our sense of separateness is just an illusion, manufactured by the narrow preoccupations of the mind. Now is the time to look at whether you're allowing yourself to receive the extraordinary gift of feeling at home wherever you are. If you are, be sure to take time to savor it so it can deepen and remain with you. If, on the other hand, you've been feeling like the world is out to get you, it's time to take a break. Go outside tonight and look at the stars. And finally, we have no thingness. Being in the gap can be disorienting and even scary. Nothing to hold on to, no sense of direction, not even a hint of what choices and possibilities might lie ahead. But it was just this state of pure potential that existed before the universe was created. All you can do now is to relax into this nothingness, fall into this silence between the words. Watch this gap between the outgoing and incoming breath, and treasure each empty moment of the experience. Something sacred is about to be born. Man, it feels to me like you're ready to take an honest look at what has been causing you so much pain, to own your own role in that painful process, and offer yourself the gift of allowing something bigger in, allowing other people to help you, to guide you, but particularly to become as quiet as you can in the moments of stress and pain and see what lies on the other side of looking at those things. So I wish you a very powerful finding in whatever you may find in this gap period after this reading. And I hope to talk to you again soon. Take care.